Today we are going to see what is the composition of two functions. Let G be a function from set A to set B and F be a function from set B to set C. Representing this pictorially, we draw three sets A, B and C. Now G is the function from A to B, right? Now an element small a in the set capital A will be mapped to an element G of A, right, in the set B by the function G. The function G is from set A to set B. The function F is from set B to set C. So the element G of A in the set B is mapped to an element F of G of A in the set C by the function F. The composition of the functions F and G denoted this way. F composition G of an element A is nothing but F of G of A. Alright, so composition G is a function from set A to set C, right? And an element small a in the capital A is mapped to the element F of G of A in the set C. In other words, F composition G is a function that assigns to the element small a of the set capital A the element assigned by function F to G of A. To find F composition G of A, we first apply the function G to A to obtain G of A, and then we apply the function F to the result G of A to obtain F composition G of A, which is equal to F of G of A. Okay, let's see an example. So here let G be the function from set A comma B comma C to itself, okay, such that G of A equal to B, G of B equal to C and G of C equal to A. And let F be the function from set A comma B comma C to the set 1 comma 2 comma 3, such that F of A equal to 3, F of B equal to 2, F of C equal to 1. The question is, what is the composition of F and G, and also what is the composition of G and F? So we need to find the function F composition G and the function G composition F. We know that F composition G of an element A equal to F of G of A and G composition F of A equal to G of F of A. F composition G. F composition G of A equal to F of G of A. Now since G of A equal to B, which means that F of B is the answer and F of B is 2. So F composition G of A equal to 2 and F composition G of B equal to F of G of B. G of B equal to C, and which means that F composition G of B equal to F of C, which is equal to 1. F composition G of C equal to F of G of C, and G of C is nothing but A, which means we want to find F of A and F of A equal to 3. So F composition G of C equal to 3. So we have found the function F composition G. Now we want to find G composition F. Now G composition F of A equal to G of F of A. Now F of A equal to 3. So we need to find G of 3. But G of 3 is not defined, right? Because 3 is not an element in the domain of the function G. Here G composite F is not defined. So generally we have to note that F composition G cannot be defined unless the range of G is a subset of the domain of F. We know that F composition G of A equal to F of G of A, right? Now G of A, let it be an element X, meaning that X is in the range of the function G, right? When G of A equal to X, it should be the case that X is in the range of the function G. Now F composition G of A is nothing but F of X here. Now suppose that X is not an element in the domain of F, which means that F of X doesn't have any value, right? Because X is not in the domain of F, meaning that F of X can't be defined. So that's why when F composite G has to be defined, the range of G should be a subset of the domain of F. Then only we can define F composite G. To also note that the commutative law doesn't hold for the composition of functions, meaning f composition G is different from G composition f. Let's see two important functions that we use in the discrete mathematics. So those two functions are floor function and ceil function. Both the floor function and the ceil function have the domain as the set of real numbers and their codomain is the set of integers. The floor function assigns to the real number x the largest integer that is less than or equal to x, and the value of the floor function at x is denoted this way. Okay, the ceiling function or the ceil function assigns to the real number x the smallest integer that is greater than or equal to x. The value of the ceiling function at x is denoted this way. Some examples to understand exactly what is floor and ceil function. Now, floor of 1 by 2 equal to 0, because 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5 and the greatest integer which is less than or equal to 0.5 is 0. Now, what is ceil of 1 by 2? Ceil of 0.5 is the smallest integer which is greater than or equal to this number, that is 1. Floor of 3.1 is nothing but 3 and ceil of 3.1 is 4. We have a question here. So prove that if x is a real number, then floor of 2x equal to floor of x plus floor of x plus 1 by 2. So with this question you should try it out as an exercise. Okay, so I will give some hints here. So let's take x as n plus epsilon, where n is an integer and epsilon is between 0 and 1. Right? Epsilon can take the value 0, but epsilon can't take the value 1. Right? That's how we take x as. We have to consider two cases for epsilon. When epsilon is between 0 and 1 by 2, and when epsilon is between 1 by 2 and 1. With these hints, try to do this question as an exercise. We conclude this lecture and we will meet in the next lecture. Thank you.